Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Thanks for coming back. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is powerful things are on your side. Ooh, the chills, the chicken skin, the feelings of divine something. I don't know. Divine what? I don't know. But something divine, some type of divine intercession feels like it's trying to come through on your behalf. So this is a really good thing. Let's see how it plays out. Oh, okay. 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 This is going to be a lot. This is going to be a lot. I think for many of us, we're reaching a point where it's almost like breakthrough or breakdown, right? You're either going to have a breakthrough or you're going to have a full on breakdown. And I think the breakdown option comes from fighting the journey, fighting the process. The breakthrough comes from you choosing to push into a space of awareness, a space of knowing that, you know what? Everything that's happening right now, it's for the greatest good. It is for the greatest good, and you might not understand it. You might not even know all the details, but everything that's happening right now, it's happening for you, right? For you. So, cloak, concealment, there's something that's being hidden. I feel like it's some type of detail that is going to help you to really come to some degree of understanding of um the process that you're in. Now, you might be like, "Well, if it's my process, why can't I know?" Well, maybe because you're a saboteur. Maybe because you consistently sabotage your own process. And if that's the case, which I'm saying that as someone who's sabotaged my own process. Absolutely. That's kind of something I do for some reason. Well, previously, not so much these days. Um, this thing of as soon as I realize what I'm working towards, what's about to be given to me by life, by soul, I will go out of my way to slow it down, mess it up, all of these lovely things that are so unnecessary, and emphasis on the sarcasm. All these things that we try and do, why are we doing them? Are we trying to prove something about ourselves? Are we trying to understand our proper place in the world? Um, is something that we are deciding, whatever it is that this message is about, is it something that you're doing because there's a person in your life that you see the way they move, you see the types of things they do for others, and it makes you feel like that's the mark of a good person. This is what I'm supposed to do, but you're doing it for not so good people unnecessarily. I mean, that's going to interfere with your process. It's going to interfere with your healing. So maybe part of what's happening right now, part of what's being hidden, is your awareness of the process you're actually in. I think with what I just said, I think your passion is upside down for some people. I think for some people, um, really what's happening is we just want to be seen as a good person. We want to change the trajectory of our life. We want to take control of our journey. But the thing is, the only thing you're fighting is yourself. You're already headed in the direction you need to go. You are already in this space of figuring out that you don't have to prove anything. This is the last portion, the very last portion of the part of you that doesn't take your needs into consideration. That's probably why you're fighting it so hard. For those who are fighting it, that's probably why you're fighting it so hard. Your life is about to be shifted from trauma bonding to true connections, healthy connections. You're about to enter into a space of living the life you're destined to live. Now you can fight it. You can flow with it. At the end of all of this, you will see you have been in control the entire time. And choosing things that make it harder for you, it was unnecessary. But I hope that once you come to that realization, you will also take the next logical step in that thought and begin the process of understanding you fighting it. It's you amplifying, expanding, and elevating the potentiality of what you will learn as you go through it. Right? Ooh, just got a notification. Know where you stand. Ooh. Know where you stand within your life, within yourself. We're not striving for perfection here. You're simply being reminded to make conscious decisions, not just decide things from a space of being traumatized and being afraid of being traumatized again, or trying to follow behind the footsteps of someone who has a different purpose, who had a different connection with you than you have with whoever you're doing whatever you're doing for. I mean, everything's going to turn out exactly in the way that it should. It will. Everything is going to turn out in the way that it should, because guess what? Powerful things are on your side. There is something so profound that is holding such a sacred space for you right now. A space for you to fall and pick yourself back up. A space for you to become disoriented in order for you to reorient yourself. Sometimes we need to experience the opposing polarity of whatever our goal is, whatever our dream is, in order to best understand and embrace what it is your life is about to give to you. For some of us, we're going to have an upside down summer because, well, you're making the decisions to learn things in an upside down manner. Does it make it wrong? Not necessarily. Does it make it right? Not necessarily. Then what does it make it? A very interesting experience that can further expand your awareness of yourself and your capacity, your capability. I don't believe in right and wrong. I don't. I believe in opposing polarities that create a nuanced texture and understanding to whatever it is that we are learning in that moment, in that circumstance. There's this thing that I sometimes talk about where it's like, if your goal is to stay in the light, because love and light, love and light, love and light, love, light, light, love, love, light. I mean, do you even know what that light is made of? Is it artificial light? Is it sunlight? Because because you're going to be like, oh, it's sunlight. You realize that if you stand in the sunlight for too long, you will eventually burn. It will eventually negatively impact the health of your skin. It could lead to disease, Serious disease at that. So am I saying you should stay in darkness all the time? No, who wants that? That's gloomy. It's hard to see where you are, what you're doing, what's in your hand, what you're looking for. So what should we do? Experience both so that you understand the gravity of each. And then you'll better understand your space of centeredness. Everything is helping to give you direction. If you allow it to be what it is, and you simply allow what it is to serve whatever purpose it's trying to serve in the process of cultivating your understanding of yourself, life won't seem so hard. It won't seem so hard. Everything will flow in such a way where you can breathe. It's not perfect, but you can breathe, right? It is what it is. And it's not always bad. Just because you say and recognize that it is what it is, it doesn't mean that it's bad. It means you're accepting the situation as it is right now with room to receive more of what you need and let go of more of what you don't need. It is what it is. I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to flow with it. I'm going to allow myself to accept these powerful things are on my side, things that are maybe not tangible to you. At least not yet. At least not yet. There's a circumstance that I'm dealing with. And as it continues to progress, there will be times where I get frustrated. There will be times where I feel just flat out angry. And all of that is valid. It's valid. But is it necessary? For a short moment, yes, it is. It's necessary to feel it. It's necessary to acknowledge the fact that I am feeling this way. And then I let that go and allow the process to continue with a very deep knowing. This will all work out in my favor. Not because I deserve it more than someone else, but because everything that I have done thus far is to ensure that balance is restored. And whoever tries to create imbalance in my life, good luck to you. You will absolutely need it. Because even with tremendous effort and dedication on your end, you are not the sovereign in my space. I am. So unless I agree to give you that authority over me, good luck to you. It's not going to end in your favor. Why? Because I refuse to give you permission to have things end in your favor when in my space. You want things to end in your favor? Go back into your lane. It's very simple. Powerful things are on your side. This is not something that you are invoking. You're not existing in a space of fear, trying to call something on your behalf. I think for many people in our community, you've grown past this thing of like trying to call something outside of you to do what you're becoming aware you need to just do for yourself, of your own accord, for your benefit. There was this person that I knew a while back, and I just thought it was very interesting because I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice here. I thought it was interesting, heavy on the sarcasm, that every time this person would do um, publicly visible energetic work, energetic offerings, um, they would call all the aliens and stuff. It's like, and then they would call angels and stuff. And I'm just like, and then I look at whenever I would do my work and I would just be like, why would I want to bother other things? I mean, if I can't maintain my own space, I really shouldn't be publicly visible. I should just do things privately, right? There was nothing that I had to invoke because I knew whatever happens during this event, I am responsible for that. And I will step up to the plate because it is my duty to do so. And my life has prepared me for anything and everything. As I grow, I will be better prepared for elevations in those types of circumstances. And wouldn't you know, as I grow and mature, the attempts, the types of circumstances that I deal with, it's always in line with what I'm capable of handling, right? Blissful says they don't feel powerful enough to keep themselves safe, maybe. Not maybe. That's a factuality. They were trying to prove that their skill is comparable to someone else's skill that they are not comparable to. That's what happens when you don't live your truth. That's what happens when you don't accept yourself as you are, when you're constantly competing with other people. Even if you don't say it out loud, your actions show everyone. And that's how you really mess yourself up with the insecurities and the fear. Because wouldn't you know, I had no interest in competing. I wanted to be supportive. I didn't see any competition. I wanted to be supportive. In fact, all my actions indicated fully supporting their efforts, fully supporting their efforts to the degree that I would be the quiet, the silent protector behind the scenes during those events. Now, why did I feel like I should do that? Well, to some degree, I was aware that powerful things are on my side, that no harm would be allowed to come to me. Another aspect of the reasoning as to why is because I had my own insecurities that I was working through. And I felt that if I didn't do that, then I wasn't being a good friend, that I would be seen as a bad person. And far too many times, I allowed myself to get involved in things that I should not have been involved in. Why? Because I failed to realize how powerful I am on my own. That the powerful thing that was on my side is me. These days, I do everything solo. Why? Because I can't make friends? No, I have amazing friends. Because I'm afraid someone will start drama with me? No, I can handle whatever drama people start. Why would I do things solo? Because I came to the realization that in this lifetime, one of the most profound lessons that I will learn is that I am the powerful thing that's on my side. And so long as I continue to involve other people in processes that should be solo, because I refuse to give myself credit for anything. That's just one of my weird quirks. And I'm sure many of you have that weird quirk. I give the credit to everyone else. I refuse to acknowledge. I refuse to acknowledge that I did this, I did that. Last night I was live on TikTok and it was a lovely experience. And towards the end, there was a person who was in the comments and they were, commenting, and I noticed they kept trying to push a specific subject matter, bioresonance scanning. And I kept trying to push that and trying to push that and trying to push that because that's what they offer. And I'm kind of like, I don't feel like I need to engage with this subject matter, but I feel like you do need to be made aware. You will not be promoting yourself in my comments. And I've learned over the years, when I detect that type of thing, that will be an issue later on. I used to believe I support everyone. I want to promote everyone. That's a genuine thing for me. I love to promote people. I love to share about good things that are beneficial to me, and hopefully it'll be beneficial to you. And no, I'm not an influencer. I'm not someone who does reviews. I am not a affiliate of anything, right? If I really believe in something, I want my community to be aware of it so that they could have the opportunity to benefit just like I have. But I learned not everyone has my heart. There will be those who will see me and my genuine kindness, and they will see it as an easy way to insert themselves in spaces they do not belong. So, that live stream yesterday on TikTok, they kept talking about bio resonance scans. I had to look it up real quick while I was live, and I was like, what is that? It sounds familiar for some reason, but I want to make sure. So I look it up, and you have to use a machine, and it runs frequencies through whatever region of the body. You use electrodes, and it runs the frequencies through that region of the body. And then, because of the resonance or lack thereof, it's going to help the facilitator figure out what's imbalanced in that area. And I was like, oh, so basically what I do, but you need to spend thousands of dollars on a machine. Mm. So I went ahead and said, would you believe if I told you that there are some people who have the ability to do that without the machines? And by the way, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. That's what I've been doing this entire live stream, doing bioresonance scans without a machine through bilocation. And it was in that moment I realized, oh, girl, there you are, finally acknowledging your power. No, you're not bragging. You're speaking of factual things. When was the last time you allowed yourself to be the powerful thing that's on your side, where you can speak openly about your capacity, capability, compassion, generosity, all of these beautiful, beautiful aspects of yourself that you never want to talk about? I tell you something, one of the most profound lessons I've learned in life, no matter how much you try and hide the greatness that you are, there will be those who will recognize this greatness. They will recognize this greatness, and you know what will happen? Either they will see it and celebrate you, be wowed by you, and like, oh my God, you are amazing. Or they will scoff and withdraw into themselves because there goes that green-eyed, jealous monster. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. And there's nothing you can do to ensure that every person that sees you, even as you pretend to be small, um, there's nothing you can do to guarantee how they will receive you. Nothing. Nothing. Powerful things are on your side. Authenticity, that's a very powerful thing. Are you authentic? Not manufactured authenticity. There's nothing that grinds my gears more than to see people faking that they're authentic. Lying, lying, lying. I'm trying not to say bad words. I'm trying so hard not to say bad words. My social media manager has begun extracting the audios from my live streams and loading them as podcasts. So I'm trying to be mindful of what will be cataloged on iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, and all these other platforms. I'm trying to behave, but there are people who lie, 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 lie. It don't matter. You be you. Authenticity is very powerful. Let that be one of the powerful things that are on your side, right? You just being you. You're initiating something during this period. And right. Thank you, Cassie. Love it. Does little dance, does little dance. So, initiation. You are initiating a very powerful cycle, one where you will finally begin to see who you are and what you're capable of. It's time. It's time. This is not something that's just happening for me. This is happening for our entire community. Even if you're brand new to this community, you are still a part of this community. This is still part of the potentiality being gifted to you by soul. Accept it. Ooh, love it. Okay. 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 That's okay. All right. So, soul is giving you a disclaimer, reminder, however you want to view it. Protection. You are covered under the umbrella of soul. Okay. You are covered under the umbrella of soul. Do not worry about any type of inclement weather. You know, I went to the gym this morning and the weather was perfectly fine. And then as I was working out, I happened to turn around and look outside and it was like a mother freaking snowstorm. Uh, and I was like, bee snatch. Ew. I don't like that. And then I was thinking, like, should I just leave now before it gets worse? And I was like, no, I'm only like 40 minutes deep. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm finishing. And by the time I finish, all of this will be gone. Wouldn't you know? Wouldn't you know? By the time I finished, which I decided to finish early today, um, not only had it stopped snowing, most of it was already melted. I love it when things go my way. I love it when things go my way. You are protected, right? You are protected. You are covered under the umbrella of grace, under the umbrella of love. Your soul is going to provide you everything you need. Might not be when you want it, how you want it, or what you want, but it will always be what you need in perfect time and measure. Always. Always. Now, we're going to talk about something somewhat difficult. Well, I wouldn't say difficult, just annoying. Just annoying, just so that you can recognize that this might be, to some extent, part of your process. Okay. There is someone who doesn't want you to achieve any of your potential. Who cares? I mean that. Who cares? They're very insecure. They're trying to affect you and make you insecure. Not going to work. And they're incapable of having love. They're incapable of having love for themselves or love for other people. Just kind of, basura. That is straight up basura. And I'm saying trash. Trash. Okay? So that's the acknowledgement that we need to know, that we need to keep an eye out for certain things. Um, Whatever you're keeping an eye out for, be realistic. Okay. Be realistic. Don't try and, what's a nice way to put it? Don't try and gaslight yourself into this belief that you are being mean and that you don't have the clair-sentience that you actually have. Clair-sentience is clear knowing, right? You have a very clear knowing of certain things. For example, you have a clear knowing of someone's um, perception of you. You have a clear knowing of someone's intentions with you. You just don't want to believe it most times. I was talking to a really good friend the other day, and I was telling them, like, there's this one girl at the gym that just irks the absolute caca out of me. I don't know why. I've never interacted with them, but every time I see them, it's like stank. And I don't know why. And I'm like, I don't want to be like this. What is this about? And then I was sharing that, while I was working out, and I was like, ugh, this girl again. Right. I came to the realization of something. I'm highly empathic. Are those my feelings? Or am I picking up on how she sees me? And then I realized, uh, I can be petty, but I'm not petty like that. I assume she doesn't like me. Why? Don't know. Never interacted with her. I keep to myself at the gym. I really don't interact with someone unless you force yourself upon me. Unless you force the interaction, unless you don't look away when our eyes happen to meet as I'm like turning around, um, and you like smile at me, then I will automatically smile back. But if it's just, you know, like a quick passing gazes, I stay neutral and I tend to my workout. I don't bother people. And I noticed in the last 2 or 3 times that, we happened to be working out in um, the same gym, I noticed her vibe is different. I still feel like she doesn't like me. But before, she used to do this thing where she stares straight at me as she's doing her workout. I don't care, boo. I don't care. But the last maybe 2 or 3 times we've been in the gym together, she averts her gaze. Yeah. So I'm inclined to think she's been competing with me this whole time, um, trying to flaunt something that she thinks I'd be impressed by. I'm not impressed. I'm just not. I'm not impressed. Um, I mean, up until recently, like we both kind of have the figure of like a 10-year-old boy. Yeah. Except I'm a 10-year-old boy with gynecomastia. And then since I've turned a point, I don't have the figure of a 10-year-old boy anymore. I have the figure of a muscle mommy. So she doesn't want to look at me anymore. Not my problem. But again, is it me that has that emotion of, I don't like you? I'm not like that. Like, if I see you consistently being rude to people, then I'm going to be like, I don't like your attitude. I don't want to be around people like you. But I'm typically not the type of person that's like, I don't like you. I don't like the way you look. I don't like you. Right? Like, I have to know you. I have to know your character, your heart or lack thereof, your integrity level or lack thereof, for me to make that decision to not like you. And then I juxtapose that thought with this one girl who, I think I'm older than that first girl that I was talking about. I think she thinks I'm younger than her by a few years. And I think that's why she sees me as competition. Like, I'm older than you and I'm hot. I'm like, boo, I think I might be old enough to have babysat you. I think so. I think so. But then there's this other girl who is young enough to have me be her mom. And I still feel her as well. Because there's days where I feel kind of irked. And I think it's because I don't say hi. I try not to look in her direction. I don't want to bother her. And then days where I feel anxiety because it's like, "Ah, just say hi, just say hi." And I'm like, no, I don't want to bother her. Right. So then to me, it confirms the things I feel towards people are a reflection of how they see me, what they feel towards me. And the acknowledgement of that gives me the empowerment to just leave that be like, oh, you don't like me? Who cares? Who cares? Go on another machine. You already know it's been how long I've been going to this gym. You know, once I set up, I'm going to be here for 3 hours. Go to a different part. I don't walk around. Right. So that's the thing. That's part of how you claim your power. Right. Huh? What when they don't like you big time and attack you in stupid ways every time when you have sporadic interaction with them? Why continue to have sporadic interaction then? I will never be interacting with that girl who doesn't like me at the gym. Never. Even if she smiles at me, I will not. I will not respond to that. Why? What do I need to prove? That I'm nice enough to let toxic people into my circle, into my life? I don't need to be politically correct. That didn't win me anything. That didn't win me more friends. That didn't win me people who are toxic but wouldn't be toxic towards me. A toxic person is a toxic person is a toxic person. Why continue interacting? Well, just because you like to have coffee doesn't mean you have to have coffee in the only 2 coffee shops at your place. Make coffee at home and have a peaceful coffee moment. You see, that's the problem here. For some people, you want to have your cake and eat it too. You want everyone to like you, and you want everyone to understand you. Yet you're not willing to understand that they don't like you. Not everyone has to like me. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, shot of vodka, or anything else. I'm just not. I'm not because I won't play games. I won't mince words. I won't put you in a position where you're questioning where you stand with me. I am very clear where people stand with me. I am very, very clear where people stand with me. Very, very clear. You will never have to question if I don't like you. Trust me, you will know. You will know. I once had it was a personal circumstance. And I didn't like this person because I kind of saw their character already. I saw it enough that I was just like, I'm good. I am good. No effing way. Nope. And then one day they were trying to force interaction with me. They were really trying to force it. And I have Asperger's, so my face says everything. It does. It says everything. I think I'm over here being covert with my emotions, and it's just not working. It's not working. So they said something that I knew was clearly a lie. And I was like, because oh, damn, I caught that myself. And they're like, "Did you just roll your eyes at me?" And I was like, "Actually, I did. I did." And they're like, "Why did you roll your eyes at me?" "Well, because I know you're lying." "I'm not lying. I also know you're not gonna admit that you're lying. It's fine. I'm allowed to feel how I feel, but you asked. So that's why I rolled my eyes at you. I mean, if you didn't wanna know, you shouldn't have asked me. I mean, do I need to apologize for being a real person?" I like most people. It's not very often that I dislike people. Like, there was this guy I was talking about maybe a year ago, maybe? I don't know. It was a while ago, and, he had just barely started going to the gym, and he just, like, was irritating, you know? He's, like, being rude to everybody and just acting like he's the shit, and just it was, like, really irking me, and I had considered, like, putting him in his place, but then I was like, "You know, I have to kinda see this from a different perspective because, you know, it looks like he's just starting his fitness journey, right? And I want him to continue that. And I'm wondering if the way he's acting is because for the first time in his life, he's really committing to his fitness, his health, and he's seeing improvement. And as long as he's not doing it to me, I'm just going to mind my own business because other people can speak up for themselves, right? Like I don't need to be the regulator in the gym. I just need to work out and leave when I'm done. And I saw him, I think like a week or two ago, and he wasn't being a dick to everyone anymore. He's slowly progressing. Good for him. He's slowly progressing and I'm like, "Oh, he's different." I think he was just hyped off of his progress. He just started and he was just hyped like I thought he was. I'm glad I didn't say anything. I'm glad I didn't go out of my way to wreck his image of himself. Because look at him. He's blossoming, slowly, but blossoming. And he's not being a dick anymore. He's just chill. He's just chill. It's this thing of, we go through what we go through. And I know that I have the patience to give people the time and the space to go through their process, that at certain points of the process, you're going to act a certain way, right? When I first started trying to embrace the more spiritual aspect of myself, and I did everything that all my spiritual friends, this is like early 2000s, okay? Like 2004, 2003, 2004. And I got caught up in the crunchy group. Yeah, no, I got caught up. And they were all very, very nice. They were all vegan, all did yoga, all meditated. They all used a specific vernacular. They all dressed the same way. And I thought they were just lovely and they were so welcoming for me. And so I began to assimilate. And then I went through this one phase where, because of the veganism, not because of vegans, because of veganism's effect on me, it raised my frequency far too high and I became imbalanced in my perception of myself. And as I became imbalanced, I became very elitist. I was very much a dick. Like, you're eating animal carcass. Relax, girlfriend. Relax, girlfriend. Someone else's food is none of your business, right? Where if you are not using my preferred vernacular, then you're kind of just subpar. Ooh, that's a dickish thing to say, isn't it? It took me a while to grow out of that phase. It took me a while. And so I look and I see when other people are in the early stages of whatever they're doing. And sometimes when you're in the early stages, you kind of act a fool a little bit. You're excited, your ego gets bloated, and then it gets deflated and you go back to acting normal, theoretically. Theoretically. So sometimes the most powerful thing on your side is being able to see, hey, this person that I'm about to start conflict with, they're just at a point that I was at a long time ago, and I need to leave them in their peace until they figure themselves out and return back to a space of being co-creative with the people in their environment, right? You don't always have to be the one to save or correct others. Sometimes when you're presented with those types of circumstances, you're being given the opportunity to see a reflection of yourself from once upon a time so that you can understand how far you've come while holding space for the awareness of how much further you have to go. Powerful things are on your side. Sometimes the most powerful thing on your side is your life experience. You know how things will turn out. Don't lie to yourself about your awareness of the patterns you've recognized. Many people in our community are very well versed in pattern recognition. Many of you have ADHD. You know, one of the hallmarks of ADHD, excuse me, elevated pattern recognition, right? Ooh, blissful. Blissful. That right there, that's a powerful admission. That is a very powerful thing to share. Blissful says, I was a toxic Christian at one point, and the things that used to come out of my mouth. There was a period where I was a toxic Catholic. And the things that would come out of my mouth too. And then I went through a phase of toxic spiritualism. Not saying spirituality is toxic. I'm saying I went through a phase where I turned spiritualism into something toxic, right? And just like Aunt Shell says, everyone always has their own process, their own agreements. And so you will be illuminated. Your path, your process, it will be illuminated. A light will be shown. And then you next have to enter into a space of stillness so that you can make sense of what you're being shown. For many of us, we are go, 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 not gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. We are go, go, go. We continuously just keep going. And you can tell yourself all you want that you're super busy, or you can be honest. I said what I said. You can be honest with yourself and admit to yourself you intentionally keep yourself busy so that you don't have to deal with what you need to deal with about your development, your environment, your feelings, and your traumas. You're still going to have to, right? Right? You're still going to have to. You're going to get to a place where you're going to be allowed to, oh, that's a perfect card to follow. You're going to get to a place where you're going to have to allow yourself to see that you come from a legacy of light. That although you've been through things that you deem questionable, that you have deemed embarrassing, a shortcoming, or whatever it is, you come from a legacy of light. And these failures, these mess ups, they're actually not that. What those things are opportunities to learn. They are opportunities to learn. I'm currently in the process of learning when to take a step back, when to allow myself to accept, um, this is not my process, and I should not force upon someone else my opinions. Um, yeah, right? Yeah. Mm. It's gonna be okay. Everything that you're going through is gonna be okay. What's gonna happen is you're gonna get through whatever you're going through right now. And then you're gonna need to take some time to process what exactly just happened here. And then you're gonna need to integrate what you've learned and begin to accept that it didn't destroy you. Instead, it further cultivated your understanding of yourself. I've been through a lot of things in life. I've been through a lot of things. And I think everything that I've been through has taken me that much closer to understanding my actual character. I think for many of us, the reason we feel so disempowered is because we don't recognize our character. We have created a caricature and identified ourselves as a caricature or as that caricature, right? And that caricature is embarrassing. When I was much younger, I was like a teen, in my teens, yes. My mom's family is very close. There's quite a few of them that are, the siblings. And then the siblings all had quite a few kids. So I have a huge family just on my mom's side, huge family. And I remember starting when I was around a teen, our extended family would take a road trip to Las Vegas every year because, you know, they all love casinos. They all love casinos. And so we would go to Vegas for like a week, 2 weeks, however long. And, us kids would kind of just be given wads of money and set loose upon the strip. Yeah, just set loose. Like, you guys don't lose each other. Come back here at this time. We're having dinner at the buffet. Yeah. So my cousin and I were closest in age. Um, we grew up like sisters. And one year I had braces on still. I had braces on, and one year she wanted to do the street side caricature drawings. And I was like, okay. So we sit down and we're having our likeness drawn by this artist. And we see it, and it was like, what the heck? So I tease my cousin because although my forehead is big, like hers is big. But not like tall, like it's cupped. It's round. Mine is flatter but taller, right? And I was like laughing at her, like, "Oh my god, look at your forehead!" Right? I was cracking up, and then she was like, "Look at your teeth. You look like a motherfucking horse." And I was like, "Why he do me dirty like that?" Ew. I I do have bigger teeth, but they're not that big. They're not that big. And really, I lost my retainer not long after they took the braces off. This is literally my teeth before I had braces on. Okay. It was just this one tooth that my parents felt needed to be fixed. I was like, my teeth are not that big. Oh, Lord. But that's the thing. We create these caricatures of ourselves, and instead of just seeing the comedy of it, we're like, that's me. Excuse you, my teeth ain't that big. Right? It's not. And he drew my forehead pretty big too. What? I have a five-finger fever. You know what I'm saying? Five-finger fever. Five, not forehead. It's a five head. Leave me alone. What? Pretty girls have big foreheads. I don't remember who said that to me. Someone was making fun of my forehead once, and um, I don't know if maybe it was my brother's ex or something. I don't remember. She's like, "Don't worry, pretty girls have big foreheads." I was like, "Really?" And she goes, "Yeah, just don't worry about that." I was like, "Okay." You need to see yourself with clarity. Rather than creating these characters and identifying as that, be yourself. There is power in being authentic. Be yourself. Don't just focus on the light. Allow yourself to see the full gravity of you, your shadows, the spaces where you have grace, right? Where you have forgiveness for yourself. That's where you need to stand. That space where you can see everything clearly and not just have a very negative perception of what you see. Um, oh, I had braces for I think like 3 or 4 years. 3 or 4 years. Um, so in regards to straightening, it was just that one tooth, but I have a really small lower jaw. I don't have a big mouth at all. I talk a lot. I talk a lot of shit. For someone with such a small mouth, I talk a lot of shit. No, it's truth. I talk truth. I do. I talk truth. But yeah, no, it was to pull my jaw out more. I don't know. I don't remember what their reasoning was. All I know is some dude on the streets of Las Vegas drew me like a cute ass horse. I had a horse face. My face is not even long. I was like, I have such a scrunched little face. And you drew me with the longest oval face, sir. He was cracking up too. He thought it was hilarious. Hilarious. And now that I think about it more, that's why the people who were walking past and standing behind him, watching him draw us for a little bit, were cracking up. Never again. Okay, card number 27, receiving. Allow yourself to receive the support that life is trying to give you right now. I think life is trying to give you some clarity on something. And as you're gaining clarity, you're going to be more willing to allow powerful things to back you up. Okay. You're going to need to allow these powerful things to really support you through this process. These powerful things are what is already with you. These are the things that are already with you. Thank you for the reminder, Lindsay. Really quick, you guys, I'm going to have a 3-3 portal fire ceremony on the 3rd. If you'd like to see what I have available, just click on that QR code or the link in the comments and it'll take you right there. So, card number 8, be the hunter, not the hunted. Ooh, be the hunter, not the hunted. Allowing yourself to receive, allowing yourself to be open to seeking out the very things that are necessary for you right now. How many of you have actively sought out your peace? Have you let yourself actively look for the places in life where you feel the most peaceful? And it might not be presented in the way that you're assuming, right? Because some people might be like, oh, she's talking about meditation. No, I'm not peaceful in meditation. I'm agitated when you try and force me to meditate, like sit there quietly, because then thoughts amplify. And then on top of that, I'm picking up on everyone else's thoughts as well. The neighbor's thoughts, like, I don't know, maybe 2-3 miles diameter around me, I pick up on everyone's thoughts. And then that becomes an entire cluster fluff. I don't like it. I don't like it. So what's my space of peace? I love to learn. I love to learn. So you show me something interesting, especially something complex. Ooh. Do you see my eyes roll into the back of my head? Ooh, yes. Show me more. Show me more. Right? I want to know more. Give me more terms. Wait, I don't know that term. I'm going to have to look it up and come back. And it doesn't even matter. Like I'm taking a certification course for something right now. And I mean, realistically, you could just read it all and then you could take the test and you could have a certificate for the program that I'm trying to complete. Or you could properly learn everything, go take the proctored exam, and be able to write that you are certified in that field of practice. So, what do you think I am choosing? Lordy Lord, my notes are longer than the chapter. I'm basically writing my own book at this point. I'm like, girl, you don't really need that complex of note taking. Like, but that's my zen zone and cleaning, reorganizing things by color and sleeve length, texture. Oh my God. Reorganizing the fridge. Oh, shit. Ooh, I'm getting warm fuzzies. I'm serious. I'm getting warm fuzzies. It's so good. Right? That is my zen zone. That's my space of peace. Movement with minimal thought. Gym, that's my peace. That's my space of peace right there. Do whatever makes you feel peaceful. What makes you feel as though stillness lives inside you, right? Um, let's do 3 cards. Is there anything you recommend for people to get for the 333 portal? Um, hmm. You know, I didn't add it to the listing. I'll add it after this live stream. I added I'm supposed to have added a little legend that shows you what each emoji means. So it's this thing of if you're looking for protection, shielding, you look for this specific emoji. If you're looking for something for your ascension mechanics, you look for that emoji. Excuse me. And I think that would help everyone figure out what's the best thing for them. Color coded and alphabetized. And don't give me a label maker. Boo. Don't do it. Don't. Don't do it. It drives my husband nuts. I stopped organizing my closet because when he puts things away, he just like hangs it all, and it kills me inside. And I'd be like, "Come here. Come into the closet with me." And he's thinking like, "Ooh, she wants to make out in the closet." And I'm like, "Is this long sleeve? Does this look like it's the same sleeve length?" Like, what? Does this look like a long sleeve? And he'd be like, you legit called me in here for that? Yes. Does this look red? Because these are the red shirts, these are the black shirts, these are the blue, and those are miscellaneous. So, just for the piece, I'm like, as long as I can find underwear, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. you know, I'm going to just leave it alone. So, hashtag number one. I know, poor Frey. He deals with me so well. He deals with me so well. Before, I used to totally be like, if he puts the clothes away, like, and now I'm like, thank you so much for putting the clothes away. And then I go back to sorting my clothes in the appropriate manner because I'm not trying to die early. And the stress of it, I'm vexed. I be vexed seeing that. Hold on really quick. There it is. So hashtag one, hashtag two, and hashtag three. We're going to do hashtag one first. Let us see. Okay. I'm telling y'all, something powerful has got you. Okay. You're going through something. Card number 42, South Node, Life's Debts. Karma, when properly understood, is just the mechanics through which consciousness manifests. The South Node represents a karmic point in our charts where certain matters must be discharged or cast off in order to develop and move on towards greater things. There's something that you're needing to um, put away. Okay. There's something you need to put away. And whatever this is, you've been holding on to it so tightly. You've been holding on to it so tightly that you're cramping and wondering why you're in so much pain. Just let it go. Just let it go. You're cramping so hard already. You're in so much pain. Let it go. It's time to move forward. It is time to carry on. Okay. The southern lunar node is also called the dragon's tail, and this is where most past karma lies in the astrological chart. The south node is a place where we are challenged and growth occurs through some kind of pain. Ah. So you needed that pain. You needed that pain because the amount of pain you experience is directly related to how long you will remember what you learned from that experience. That's intense. At the same time, the South Node is realistic in the area of the horoscope that shows how we can know and understand who we truly are. So everything that I've been saying, where you're needing to hold a space for you, the real you, the most authentic you to come forward, that is very important for those who selected hashtag one. While the North Node opens doorways, the South Node represents karmic debts, which can make life circumstances hard. But neither the North Node nor the South Node are all good luck or bad luck. In fact, when it comes to the nodes, what will be given is what has been earned. Karma is not punishment. Karma is nothing more than a paused lesson. That is it. And there will be people who come into your life to continue a lesson that was first initiated in a previous existence. And that is all you need to experience, the finishing off of whatever you were learning together, right? Whatever you were learning together. You know, something's coming to mind right now. Like I've been coming across so many different types of people over the years. And for some reason, a noticeable portion of the people I come across who end up creating problems for me in some way, shape, or form are people who have a past life history with me. And at first, before I explore those past lives, the memories that come back, at first I'm like, oh, we shared a past life. How awesome. And then things kind of go south. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. What exactly happened in that past life? For you to think that you could do this in this life. Wait one hot mouth-tool moment. What exactly happened there? And wouldn't you know, those are people who either conspired or actually committed the deed of unaliving me in that life. And it's like, why? Ugh, why would I need that experience in this life? So I could see what would have happened had I not given them the opportunity the last time. It's profound. I was like, oh, so I don't have to let them be a part of my life, even if we shared a past life? Girlfriend, sometimes that's the more you should not allow them to be a part of your life in this life because of that past life, right? I shared with you guys at one point that I remember one of my lifetimes um, as a historical figure. And if you go online and look for the way this historical figure died, no one really knows. There's speculation. No one really knows. I do, though. I remember. I remember. And wouldn't you know, the person who unalived me in that life, they found me in 2017. Without me saying a word, they privately shared with me they remember me from Mongolia. And then they began to insist that they needed to be part of my circle of trust. Oh, no, no, homie. You did that the last time. This time, you're going to catch a hot one from me. You are not a friend. You are not even to be an advisor. You are not to be any part of my circle ever. Ever. Ain't that some shit? They were convinced. They were absolutely convinced. And I was like, mm-mm. The people who I trusted at that point in my life, I was like, this fool. He thinks I'm going to be his friend. You know what he wants? He wants to be publicly associated with me so that he could then launch some type of attack on me later. I'm good. I'm good. And then he started going around behind the scenes, privately contacting people on my behalf as though he had been given authority to do so. And here's the thing, quite a few of my viewers are neurospicy, just like me. I love it. Like, speak your truth, be who you are. I'm not going to hold that against you. I mean, unless you're malignant intentionally towards other people, right? So I was live one day and one of these people was like, Emmy, did you ever say blah, 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 blah? I was like, no. Who said that? Who? Someone told you I said that? And they were like, yeah, so and so privately on a live stream. So and so privately messaged me and told me that I blah, 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 blah. And I was like, they privately messaged you and said that I asked them to speak on my behalf? Mm-mm. 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 That is not a karmic lesson I'm willing to repeat. A lot of the things you're going through right now, for those who chose #1, it is the rehashing of a karmic lesson that was paused. Learn what needs to be learned, select the appropriate thing, and just carry forward, okay? There's no other way. There is no other way of getting there without the toil and effort. The South Node is also a key to what has been left unfinished or unresolved in your life. What lies therein is what we bring from not only our childhoods, but also past lives. So you need to learn whatever this is to get to the next part, the part that your soul is trying to get you to. Your soul is trying so hard to guide you so that there's the least amount of struggle, right? Your soul is trying to protect you, trying to prevent things. Stop being so distrustful of your soul. You can distrust the rest of the world if you want. That's fine. You have your reasons. I mean, is it the healthiest? Not really, but you have your reasons. Soul, you must always trust your soul. You must go out of your way to cultivate a relationship between the self and the soul. And when you do that, what ends up happening is you begin to reestablish that trust, and soul can better guide you. You want your guidance, right? I mean, you're not getting it from me. You think you are, but you're not getting it from me. All I'm doing is reiterating what your soul has already told you. Why do you think what I say sounds and feels so familiar? Why do you think you experience these periods where it's like, whoa, I can't believe Emmy's saying this because I literally was just thinking this morning? Were you thinking it, or were you being told by soul? Your higher self is still the self. What kind of voice did you think it was going to take? It's the sound of your voice. But if you can't differentiate between a mimic trying to sound like you and your soul speaking to you, that's going to be an issue. Don't let yourself have those type of issues. You have to get to know yourself. When this card shows up in a reading, it's a turning point. It's a time of endings and beginnings. Understand that there is something about to close that has been held in place for a long time. Familiar ways will end, ushering you forward in new ways and through different developments. You are ready to step out of the rut and align yourself with a higher vision. You may be evaluating certain aspects of your life to realize there's no longer any connection there and that it is time to move on. Be assured you will have a stronger foundation for your next venture. Doors slam, but in recognizing what needs to end, it helps you to move on towards further maturity. A major turning point. This is a period to maximize the advantages of those changes, difficult though they may seem now. You will want to leave your comfort zone and make as many new contacts as you possibly can. Even though the South Node is not as congenial as the North Node, they are still in balance, having things in common. So when you face resistance at a particular time, that is your South Node telling you, over here, this is a better way. Blocks and obstacles, especially in this case, are letting you know you are not on the right or golden path. The South Node is all about being prepared for what comes next, and that means being experienced. There's not going to be any winging it at this time, or your plans may truly sink. There is, sometimes when the South Node is activated, it will take several tries to get what you're after. You could receive an unexpected rejection, one you weren't looking for. You could even be asked to do extra tasks while working longer hours. The good news is, even though things are a bit tough at the current moment, it is still an advantageous time. You're about to hook up with the people in your soul tribe. You are setting down a foundation for your future marvelous life. So, beautiful things in store for you guys. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful things in store for you guys who chose #1. Allow yourself to be properly aligned, properly positioned, and see how everything unfolds. Okay. We're now moving on to those who chose #2. Um, yes. Alrighty. #2 is card number 19. Libra, I balance. All my life, my heart has yearned for a thing I cannot name. Don't go it alone. Linking up with a partner will serve you best. So, this is for people who've become so accustomed to not trusting, not allowing, being very walled off. It's time for you to let that go. Don't completely demolish the walls. Turn them into low fences. so that you still have that sense of being protected, but don't feel imprisoned in your own existence. Okay. Libra is a sign of balance, charm, and beauty. Librans are notorious for their wit, ability to weigh and judge, as well as their appreciation for beautiful things in life. They adore collecting striking things. That means objects and people. Okay. Let's see. Um, Since Libra rules the seventh house of partners in marriage, those influenced by this sign do best in life with a partner, but it can be the sign of codependency, and many will pair up at the drop of a hat. Be careful who you pair with, be careful who you trust. That's why I say don't demolish all the walls. Those are coping mechanisms that have kept you safe when you weren't as strong as you are now. Acknowledge how strong you've become. After all the things you've been through, you've become formidable. Yes, keep half the wall up. Only half. Half as tall and half as thick. So you can make whatever maneuvers you need when it's time to move. But don't just blindly trust people simply because you haven't trusted anyone your entire life. Trust must be earned first and foremost. When the Libra card turns up, it indicates you're riding the fence over something and need to make a decision soon. If you do not make your decision, it may be made for you. The potential for you not liking the ending is high if you don't act and decide soon. This is a favorable card for romance and relationships. It indicates a time where relationships are turning happier and more content. Right now, everything must be fair and balanced. It's important not to sacrifice your own feelings or desires simply because you hope to avoid conflict. It's time for you to speak up. It's time for you to allow yourself to also hear the people who speak truthfully to you. Balance, not riding the fence. Balance. You want a West Coast wedgie? You want a West Coast wedgie? Is that what it is? Keep riding that fence. You're going to have a wedgie like you wouldn't believe. You're going to have the type of wedgie that is the equivalent of tucking a thong into a waist trainer. You know what that feels like? And you can't pick it out. You can't pick that out. That is the most uncomfortable thing ever. It is the most uncomfortable thing ever. Why would you want to do that to yourself? You know, when I used to work security, totally TMI, but you need to know this. So I was like 19, right? And I worked security and I had to wear a security uniform with a duty belt. And the thing was, under my security top, I would have to wear a white t-shirt. Well, my white t-shirt was too big because I got like an extra small adult size, and I'm not I'm not a big person. So it was too big for me. It was too long. And so I had to tuck it into my pants, but it would bunch up. Well, I thought it would be an amazing idea to tuck it into my underwear. And that's what I thought. In theory, it was a good idea because then it would hold my shirt tight while I pull my pants up. And when I pulled my pants up, that's exactly what it did. It held my shirt nice and tight. My uniform was crispy, like, ooh, girl, eh? Right? And then, of course, I put my duty belt on. I put my duty shirt on. And then I decided to also tuck that into my underwear because it just works so lovely with a white shirt. And then I pulled my pants all the way up and I put my duty belt on and I was ready to go. That duty belt weighed maybe like 15 pounds across my little ass waist. And I remember there was a situation where I had to run after someone. Like, of all the people, you send the smallest one to run after somebody. Okay. Okay, that's how you roll. Okay, that's how I roll too. So it's no problem. It was no problem. So I'm running, running, running. And someone else got to them first. And I was like, that sucks. But then all of that movement created shifting. It did not take long for me to be like, oh, I have a wedgie, a bad wedgie. And I was trying my darndest to get a hold of the undie to pull it out. I couldn't. I could not. I couldn't. I couldn't get a grip on it. And every time I would try, it would pull my shirt up more because I was twisting and twisting and twisting. And the wedgie got worse and worse. And you know what ended up having to happen? I had to ask my supervisor if I could take a break to excuse myself to go to the locker room. It's on the radio, which the police station also monitors. Do you know where this is going? And my boss was a total penis. My gosh, he was a total penis head. And he's like, 17, what do you need to take a break for? You just got on shift. So you know what I did? I owned my truth. I got on that radio and I said, Adam 1 to 17. Oh, Adam 1, this is 17. I need a break because I'm wearing skimpy underwear that I tucked both of my shirts into, and I have a wedgie that I can't pick out without taking my pants off. Is it okay with you? Ooh, I got in big trouble. I got in big trouble for that. I got in big trouble because PD, the police station, police department, they got on the radio. They got on the radio and they were like, Adam 1, could you just please let them go and handle their private business? What? I don't appreciate wedgies. I don't. I don't. So if you're going to ride the fence, that's what's going to happen. I don't know if Soul's going to let you excuse yourself to pick this wedgie out. That might end up becoming your punishment, your consequence for not making a decision. You're the only one that really has that type of authority and power over yourself in your life. Do you know that, right? I know for some people, they think that if they allow someone else to make the decisions for them, they don't have to take accountability. So, for example, you don't want to make the decision to end your relationship because you're not really interested in the person, but they're so good to you that you kind of want to just keep them there on the side. And so you kind of want to break up with them. But again, it's that fear of missing out. And so you ask your friend, should I break up with them? Mm. And your friend says, yeah, no, you should. So of course you break up with them because your friend told you to, right? It was your friend that told you to. Yeah, you break up with them and then a couple months later, you see that they're in a happy relationship with someone else and you suddenly realize, well, you're actually not having fun without them. Wah, wah. You're not having fun without them and they've moved on, and you know that no one is going to treat you as good as they treat you, and wah, wah. Too bad. Is your friend going to be the one that regrets it? No. You are the one that has to live with that because now they're not going to trust you. They don't want you back. They've moved on. Your opportunity for happiness with them, that's done. That's done. For some of us, we ride the fence. I don't even want to claim any of this. For some of y'all, you ride the fence because you don't want to take accountability for what's happening. You're going to give yourself a West Coast wedgie. That is so uncomfortable. That is so uncomfortable. So why don't you do this? Why don't you make a decision? Go excuse yourself into some private space and pick that wedgie out. Okay. Get it out of your crack and get yourself comfortable. And then stick to the decision you've made. Because whatever you decide, you are literally the only person for every single decision you make. You are the only person who will be forced to live with a consequence of that for the rest of your life. So start deciding things that are healthy for you rather than continuing to give your power away in order to appease those who make you feel like you need to decide things to be supportive to them when they don't need your support. That's not even support at that point. That's enablement. You keep enabling bad behaviors, you're co-creating that, right? So it's important to not sacrifice your own feelings or desires simply because you hope to avoid a conflict. It will feel as if the middle approach is the smartest one now, and this is probably right, where you express your needs, your wants, your expectations with an understanding that not all of that will be met, and that for some things that's okay, right? For other things that are a need, things that are a deal breaker if it's not met, and be realistic. Okay, be realistic. If that's not met, then the whole thing kind of crumbles. It's a deal breaker, right? Courtrooms, law, and fairness should play into the matter. If you are involved in a court case and the surrounding cards are good and the Libra card appears in the spread, it's a good indicator the issue will work out just the way you hope, bitches! Sorry. Ooh. Does anyone want to comment? Ooh. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Anyone want to comment? Any specific person want to comment? You want to comment some more? I'm being sarcastic. Okay. The enforcement of rules may also apply. Fuck yeah. Legal documents will not only figure in, they will bring you benefits. Ooh, especially benefits shared between you and a partner. This card can represent an impending marriage or an engagement. Relationships are about to move up a level to a more serious one. Feelings have matured. Happiness is achieved when you pool your resources with a significant other. Achievement will be found when you find the right person who mirrors your own ideals and beliefs. All matters worked on within sincere and equal partnerships shall prove to be successful to the utmost. I love that. I love that for you guys. I love that for me too. I'm definitely claiming the courtroom law and fairness portion of it. I'm claiming that. Okay, #3. We're going through this in a very efficient manner. Minimal side quests. All right, #3. Here goes. For those who chose #3, you got card number 37. Oopsie. You got card number 37, fire element, desire. Passion, though a bad regulator, is a powerful spring. Ooh, you're about to be launched. Sometimes I find myself wanting to request soul yeet me. Just yeet me, soul. Yeet me. Like yeet me across creation. I want to be in a different No, I'm just joking, Michael. Michael goes, "Do you really want to be heated?" No. He's asking me again, "Are you sure? Do you really want to be heated?" Not really. Sad. That sounds like it's not going to be fun. That sounds like it's so not going to be fun. I don't want to be heated like that. I don't want to be yeeted by my I don't want to be yeeted by my by my wedgie. I don't want to be yeeted. No, thank you. So, hashtag number 3, there are changes coming, new movement. Look for them to be quick. The element of fire in astrology is all about beginnings, our passions, and how fast we get our energy moving. You got to do something fast. There is something that you've been considering. Maybe it's like a business thing or something like that. And you've been considering it and you've been dragging it out, dragging it out, dragging it out. And you're being given a small window of opportunity. If you do this, it's going to be scary. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be scary. But if you do this, things are going to pan out massively. Ooh, I need to file some stuff. It's time. The window is starting to open. It's starting to open. How much more time do we have until the 3rd? A little less than a week. I think it has to do with the 3-3 portal. A little less than a week, and then it's the 3rd. And then you have another week window after that. So let's see. So it would be the 10th. Between now and March 10th, you have to get something started. For those who picked hashtag 3, this is the window you're looking for. This is the window you're waiting for. Make something happen. Make it happen quickly. You have been considering so many different aspects of whatever this project is for how long already? This is not a brand new cockamamie idea you came up with last night. No, this is something that has been placed on your heart and your shoulders for years. I'm getting the fucking chills. Oh, Lord. Okay. It speaks to how rapidly we react and how long it takes us to accomplish what we set out to do. Fire is burning determination. Fire scorches away impurities, clearing a landscape for new growth and leaving an area healthier and stronger. When the fire element card is involved, expect changes to be dramatic in an unforgettable way. Ooh! I'm doing my little dance. Looks like we made it. Look how far we come, my baby. I'm glad we didn't listen. Look at what we would be missing. They say, I bet. You guys, I wish I could share the gravity of what this means. I wish I could share what it means for me personally, for our community. I will say this: God is always good. Always. The hardships that you face, the things that happen, the moments that cause you to feel so broken, so alone, so misunderstood, so unsupported, so deprived and depleted. Those are all part of a grander plan that will replenish you with new things, things that are much better suited for the destined path that has been laid before you. God is always good. Always. I'm going to read that again. When the fire element card is involved, expect changes to be dramatic in an unforgettable way. A situation is about to be transformed through a wake up call or a personal epiphany. The element of fire is spirit moving and a great indicator of creativity. So now is a time to apply your energy wholeheartedly. Step into this path and find your way. Look at your issue from another perspective and try a unique approach. The fire element card also denotes honesty and suggests you act assertively. You are about to get upfront with someone or vice versa. At least you should. And this card says to push it. In any event, you will soon understand where you stand as all of your cards will be put on the table. Then you can expect less mystery. Things are about to be laid out, announcements made. You're about to receive information that will confirm the trajectory of your efforts, and it is much further than you ever thought it would go. Oof, wait. This is a good time. Hold on. No, I didn't add it. Okay, let me add this. This is a good time, you guys. There's going to be a lot of changes in the world this year, even between now and summertime. Do not miss your opportunity. Do not. Just because you're not yet able to hear soul very well, you're not yet able to receive the guidance that you know you need, the reassurance, the confirmations. Soul-based business mentorship. There's no more excuses. Make it happen for yourself. Make it happen for yourself. Make it happen. This type of session is where we sit down and we really hash out what soul wants you to do, what you are being encouraged to do, gaining full clarity, right? Full clarity. Did you know even the name you give your business charges the potentiality of your business in a specific way? Did you know that? That sometimes you will name something because you think it appeals to others. You're thinking business minded, but what's really happening is you are birthing a child of abundance. You don't just name your child any name. Names carry energies and potentialities. There are certain names where if you have that name, I know we will never be cool. If that is the name you go by, no, nope, mm-mm, mm-mm, no. And I've recognized this because I've known several people with the same name, and every time it's like, what in your caca ass mind is making you act like this? Why do they all act the same? Because names carry energies. You have to allow yourself to get to a point where you recognize you are being guided by soul. It's not always going to be what people would be very drawn to at first, right? Like, for example, I had to name my academy. And it was this thing of what am I going to name it? And I so very insecure. And I didn't know what to name it, except my heart, in my heart, I could feel it. It stems, this word stems from one of my most favorite time periods. I incarnated into this time period so much. And it's feudal Japan. And there's a word that I remember, kokoro. That's a center point. where the mind, the body, the soul, and the heart, they come together. That is the point of centeredness. Why did I name my academy Kokoro 33? What's a 33? That's my life path. That is the number of ascended masters. So it must be named that. And I didn't want to for a while. It took me a while to accept that. Why? Because no one's going to know what that is. No one's going to know how to say it. No one's going to this. No one's going to that. And that was important because there was nothing that could come before it to give people an understanding of what it is. That would be my job, to showcase to the world exactly what Kokoro 33 means. The gravity of it needed to be invented and presented by me. You are giving birth to something. There is a very small window of opportunity. Very, very small window of opportunity. Watch out for bossy people when this card comes up. It can indicate a type of bulldozing that will be hard to deal with. Wait, is this the right? So I assume you're going to be dealing with someone that's bossy, someone that's going to try and take over whatever it is you're trying to birth. You know what happened when a nurse tried to be bossy with me while I was in the middle of um, labor? You know what happened? She tried to completely disregard my autonomy and my sovereignty and my reasonable requests. You know what happened? She got dismissed from the room. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. I told her, I do not want you on my care team. They need to move things around and give me a different nurse. I am not compatible with you and I do not want you in my room. And my husband was like, "Oh, she told you." Yep, I sure damn did. I sure damn did. You are not going to disregard my autonomy. I've had that happen several of my deliveries already. I was not willing to allow it to happen for that one anymore. And I dismissed her. Not even joking. Not even joking. Like, nope, no. You need to stand your ground. Whatever this is, it's something that's very, very important for you. It can indicate a type of bulldozing that will be hard to deal with. Others may claim they are speaking to you from a place of truth and concern, whereas they may not understand the situation very well and not offer the best advice. The best advice comes from inside. And the people who love you, the people who hold significant roles within your destined path, they will simply be reiterating the messages that soul was already giving you from the start. That's why you feel resonance when you hear it. That's why it feels familiar. That's why sometimes you get chills because your soul has already whispered this into your heart. Listen to yourself. Be careful of others attempting to take over and claiming as theirs what you have created or started. This card can imply the ego going out of control, but it's important to keep yours in check as well. So don't allow yourself to become a mirror of someone who's already out of control. That's not going to do anything for you. Outside of deplete your energetic reserves, that should be set aside for manifesting whatever this amazing opportunity is. Since you're new to thinking, since you are now thinking in larger terms, details won't seem to matter as much, but it's important to get everything nailed down. You may be tempted to fly by the seat of your pants and rely upon spontaneity. That's not a bad idea. The fire element card says you have good instincts at the moment and will be able to carry it off as long as you are also grounded. Okay. This is a card of passion. Therefore, if romance is your question, this is a compelling attraction, at least on the part of one of you. It might not be reciprocated. Be careful. However, don't make the mistake of attempting to make your love interest jealous if you feel you're not getting the attention you crave. This will surely backfire. If the attention strays, though, don't be afraid to have a backup plan. In romance, this card can indicate a sudden attraction. If it is not meant to be, it will burn out fast. But if the relationship has legs, you will be great supporters and protectors of each other. The earth or the fire element card is one of new starts, often after the past has been burned away, and denotes a period where you start anew. Be honest in your approach. Any arrogance will be your enemy. You will have the zeal to get things done in the way you want. As far as your life is concerned, the pot is being stirred. I love my spoons. I do. Lastly, show caution with objects that have a fiery or electrical nature. I think for all of us, this is a powerful period that we're entering into. There's a lot of potentialities. There's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of invitation, a sense of invitation um, to rise to the challenge, an invitation by soul, no one else. Don't concern yourself with other people's journeys, with their intentions, with their progress, or anything like that. Focus strictly on what needs to get done. If you're able to do that, I think amazing things will happen for you. I think you'll have the opportunity to completely change the experience you're having with life. It's time to see the other side of life, how it feels to exist in a different way. I'm excited for that. I'm excited, and I claim all three cards. I claim all three because all three tells me all the groundwork that I've laid. It's like preparing your garden, your flower bed. It's preparing it. You don't just plant the flowers. You have to understand the soil and the needs of the plant. Once you understand the needs of the plant and the current condition of the soil, you can then begin to do the things that are necessary, make the amendments that are necessary, the changes to the soil to ensure that when the plant is inserted, everything will be very healthy and very fruitful. Don't let the past hold you back. Yeah, maybe you tried something like this before and it failed. Okay, but was it the right time? Was it the right thing? Probably not, or it wouldn't have failed. Some of us get this idea that our business plan that we found somewhere online with an idea that many, many people already had because you were inspired by someone else's online posts, that you're going to do it too, right? You're going to do it too. Except the field is saturated. Is this your passion? Well, no, a lot of people made money doing this, right? Because they got into it before the field was saturated. Do what makes you passionate, not what you think will make you a quick buck. It's time to follow guidance from soul. It's time to allow everything to work in your favor. It's time to invest in yourself. Why wouldn't you? You're a winning bet. There was this quote from Michael. I was having a conversation with Michael, and I don't remember what started it. Probably some drama back then. Probably, I don't know. So, anyways, long story short, um, it was one sentence. Only bet against me if you're willing to lose. Because he was egging me on. He was egging me on so hardcore. And that is what I said to him. It's a quote from Conversations with Michael. And that's what I said. I was so angry. And with no hesitation and a touch of fiery rebellion, I said to him, only bet against me if you're willing to lose. At which point he smiled and he said, that's right. That's right. And to date, I have never failed to accomplish something that I wanted so badly and set my entire being into accomplishing. I have never. Not a single time. Not a single time. Everything that I have done has come to fruition to the degree that I would allow it to come to fruition. Everything. And I bet you the same holds true for you as well. You think you failed at something? Doubt it. I think what happened was you did something and then you stopped giving yourself permission to continue. And when you did that, um, everything kind of fell apart because you no longer gave permission for it to come to full fruition. You got frustrated, you got misled, something happened. I don't know what. But whatever happened, the final deciding factor was when you withheld your energy, your participation in whatever was being created. Mm-mm. Now is a time to correct that. Now is a time for you to really allow things to happen. Push it forward, make it happen. It's not enough for you to push it to the degree that it starts. You have to push it all the way through. Push it until it starts and keep pushing it until you get to the places of success and abundance that you know in your heart belong to you. You know in your heart that belongs to you. That is your destined path. Let it get there. Let it get there and make sure it stays there. Because that's what you've earned. That is what you've earned. So, guys, quick reminder, the Morphogenetic Fundamentals Workshop is this Saturday. You'll be able to buy a ticket for 2 more days before we shut down the link to give us time to prepare everything for the actual event. After that workshop, I believe in 2 weeks, is a Black Magic Revocation Workshop. A lot of people need to know these techniques. There's a lot of just not so good people doing not so good things. And you need to know how to protect yourself and make yourself inaccessible to those types of attempts. And then on Sunday, I believe it's on Sunday. Is it on Sunday? Yes. This Sunday is the 333 portal. If you'd like to get an expedite, click on that QR code, see what I have to offer, and pick whatever you're drawn to. So I will see you guys again very soon. If you haven't already looked for me and found me and followed me across all social media, I'm Emmy Evolving. Look for Emmy Evolving. Make sure it's not a spoof account because mofos be too much. Mofos need to be handled like a shake weight sometimes. Not by me, though. I'm busy doing amazing, peaceful things. But look for me, Emmy Evolving, across the board. I'm Emmy Evolving. Find me especially on TikTok. And that's becoming a fun spot. It is. It's becoming a really fun spot. So I'll see you guys again very soon. I hope everyone has an amazing, amazing rest of your day. Like, share, and follow.